city's giving you, if they've been working with you for 2 years, trust me, if I was a neighbor in that community, I would be pissed at the city that they worked with you for 2 years, and I'm looking at this today. I've been walking around like this since I got the email from the guy. You know who's interested? The neighbor. The one that's already got. They originally said, no, we're not interested. And then they came back to him. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Sir, are you Kevin? Is it Yamut?
Go ahead.
Hello. All right. Mr. Greco, your appearance for the city?
Yes, Your Honor. David Greco, on behalf of the city of Congress.
I think I've got 21 files, if I counted right.
These are all in default, Your Honor. Yes, and for here, and the order that you.
All right.
February.
Okay.
Additional information.
And what was the February order?
So the February order, so we filed a claims motion to amend order for default judgment, and it is attached as Exhibit A to the motion.
Oh, I just saw it.
Yep. And so on February 9th, we were here. So this is a property located at 30905 Beverly, Toronto. At the time, there was, it looked like work stuff, people living on the property. There was no structure there because the structures had been at that time partially demolished for the most part. There was a camper. We think somebody was living in there. There's containers, equipment, trailers, all stuff in violation of the code of ordinances that have been established through both default and citations that were issued. So we filed a motion for cleaning up the property at that time. Upon discussion with our building official, Mr. Kemp, we came in with a specific order for compliance. As the court is aware, sometimes we have cleanups
Right.
that are bigger jobs than they are. Sometimes with commercial properties, we'll see if we can assess a day penalty if it doesn't get done.
Mhm.
This is not a commercial operation, so.
Okay.
So at that point in time, we came in, I believe Mr. Yamuk was here, we changed the normal 10 days to 30 days in the order. But the order was to clean up the property at 30905 Beverly by removing the storage container, the camper, the equipment, junk debris, securing, stabilizing, and making safe the unsafe structure and demolition, and shutting off the utilities, including the gas, electric, water, and sewer service. So we had, equipment containers on the property. Those can be moved, cleaned up, junk and debris. We were concerned because the demolition was accomplished without getting the proper permit.
Right.
So we didn't have the proper shut-offs. And Mr. Kemp was very concerned about, we thought the water was shut off.
Sure.
The gas and electrical, we don't even know where it is. And we came in specifically at that time because removing rubble from a demolition is kind of a big job. We can't just send the DPW guys over there, for the afternoon to do it. Or if we hire a contractor, it becomes much more expensive. So at that point in time, we came in very specifically, and my reading of this order is very specific, that all the movable stuff we can clean up, pull out of there. If he's supposed to do it, if he doesn't, we're going to do it. We can make safe by shutting off utilities, and we were making safe, securing, or stabilizing the unsafe structure and demolition debris there. Since that time, Mr. Kemp has been speaking with Mr. Yamut. It's been a slow go. We actually haven't gone on there and cleaned it up, but he and his father, I believe, have been moving stuff out. And there's still a pile of rubble and stuff. We did attach pictures to the motion, but I do have a photograph that was taken yesterday, if I may approach.
Please.
And what has happened at this time is that Mr. Kemp, as the building official, has been able to come into, let's say, came into some money over the last last couple of months. And there is an allocation of money available for a demolition company that doesn't have to do a demolition, but they're the experts in doing the removal of the debris and the rubble.
Looks like the crawl space is all still there.
Yeah.
So that's going to have to be dug out, right? Okay.
And so, Mr. Kemp, the building official in the city came to me and said, well, we got this order and we just hired this contractor to do it because we have money set aside. I looked at the order and I spoke with Mr. Kemp and I said, I remember specifically, we didn't ask the judge to remove all the rubble because at the time we thought it was a bigger
Right.
job than was necessary. We didn't want to absorb the cost that we didn't think that we could collect. So we are back here with you, Judge. Also as part of that order, by the way, Mr. Yamuk was supposed to pay off some of the tickets that aren't defaulted before, which I don't believe that he has.
I'm still showing a balance of 6156.
Have any payments been made? No. Oh. So attached as Exhibit C is the amended order that we are looking for in this case, which is amended order for default and judgment regarding compliance and cleanup, which provides as follows. It is hereby orders that except for expressly and modified herein, all provisions of the court's February 9th order for default judgment shall remain in full force and effect. It is further ordered, the second item, that the city of Romulus, by and through its employees, agents, and contractors, is authorized to enter onto the property and remove the remaining demolition debris, rubble, building materials, junk, abandoned materials, and refuse located on the property. And further, that the city of Romulus, by and through its employees, agents, contractors, is authorized to perform such restoration work as reasonably necessary following the debris removal, rubble, backfill, basically finishing off the demolition.
Right.
With the defendant, of course, being responsible for the costs, with the city being able to collect by any means available on law, including attaching a lien to the property or addressing it. As you can see, Your Honor, not only was the demolition done without permits in violation of the law, but it clearly falls within a blighted property under our litter, junk, debris on premises things in us. So that's what we're asking the court to do under the authority that the court has under the Revised Judicature Act to issue any order to enforce.
All right.
And the city does have the money, by the way, set aside to hire a contractor to just clean up the site.
Mr. Kemp, do we have any estimate?
Yes, we had an estimate for $15,000.
Yeah, to finish it off, get it out, and it's a nice one.
Yeah, and that's to dig out the footings, foundations. All right. You understand what the people are asking me to do?
It's gonna say that's me. I had good spot. I bought it. It was how very,
Right.
It's costing down.
Right.
I went to jail. In 60 days about it.
You're all right. You don't have to stand up. They train lawyers to stand up. It's okay. As long as it's coming, I can hear you and she can get you in the recording. Go ahead.
Thanks. I'm trying my best. It's just me and I don't even care what it's not something just
Which you know you can't do.
know where to go. I mean,
But this is going to sound cold-hearted as hell, and I understand that, but that's not the concern. The concern is that's not zoned for a campground.
when my deal was I live in the camper and I was gonna build a container. That's why I bought those containers.
I don't even know if you can build container homes in Romulus. Do our ordinance allow that?
Yeah, that was special recommendation, and then me and Mr. Yu we've
Right.
been with this for about 2 years now.
Right.
Got him over there, he was gonna, the intent was to clean up the property, pull the demolition permit, get the disconnects, want to build a house. And we had discussed like, okay, you have to clean this up, here's the provisions, here's what you have to do to get this in order in place. And you have tried hard to work with him to get into
Yeah.
that point, but now we're at the point where we need a lot of resident complaints and everything needs something to get in place in order.
Well, the house is bowed, but it's not falling, but it just started falling.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You own the property. That means you're responsible for the structure. I don't care if it was an act of God. Whatever, you got to deal with it. And what? No, you're not. Okay, well, it's not happening fast enough. If I talked about this in February and I'm still talking about it, it ain't happening fast enough. Okay. Once again, not my problem. Not my problem. When you buy a piece of real estate, you inherit a piece of real estate, somebody gives you a piece of real estate, you've got obligations to the community that the real estate sits in. And I'm going to order that it get cleaned up. And this $15,000 is going to end up on the tax bill. And that lot's not worth $15,000.
In the process, I'm working on it right now, it's like mostly gone.
Then get it done before their contractor gets there, because I'm not giving you any extra time. I don't care. I don't care. Sir, February, this is June.
You know, the bottom.
Listen, don't blow smoke up my ass. Okay, listen. What I'm looking at right here, all of that could have been done in February. All of that could have been done in February with the proper equipment. But once again, that's not the city's giving you, if they've been working with you for 2 years, trust me, if I was a neighbor in that community, I would be pissed at the city that they worked with you for 2 years and I'm looking at this today. I mean, I'm sympathetic, but I'm also sympathetic to everybody in the neighborhood that they got to look. I mean, you wouldn't want to live next to that.
Well, I got
Okay, you got rid of the containers. I'm signing the order, Mr. Yamut. You can appeal me, but I'm signing the order. I don't think that lot's worth 15 grand. I mean, I don't think anybody's buying lots in Michigan or in Romulus to put houses on. This gets the property cleaned up. That's my only concern. That's my only concern. Whether or not that makes the property more debt on the property than it's worth to you, then maybe you're going to walk away from that lot. That's your decision to make. Nobody forced you to buy that lot with a house on it like that.
I didn't know that happened.
Did you go to, let me ask you one question. Did you go talk to the city before you bought that lot to find out what you'd have to do with it? Yes or no? Goodbye. We're done. Goodbye. Goodbye. We're done. Do you understand what goodbye, we're done means? Have a nice day.
As the court session entered its final moments, Judge Oakley turned his attention to a property dispute involving 3905 Beverly Road. What seemed like a simple cleanup issue quickly became a serious discussion about legal responsibility and compliance with city regulations. The property owner had failed to remove debris and unsafe structures left behind after an unauthorized demolition, creating concerns for both the city and surrounding community. Judge Oakley made it clear that the responsibility for cleaning the site rests entirely with the property owner. He confirmed that all necessary court orders had already been signed and there would be no further delays. The judge emphasized that property ownership comes with obligations, and ignoring those obligations could lead to significant consequences. If the owner continued to neglect the property, the city would have no choice but to step in and perform the work itself, with all associated costs ultimately being charged back to the owner. The judge also delivered an important lesson about property ownership and due diligence. He noted that anyone purchasing real estate should thoroughly research local regulations, zoning requirements, and municipal rules before making an investment. According to Judge Oakley, many of the problems in this case could have been avoided if proper research had been conducted beforehand. With the final matter addressed, the courtroom began winding down for the day. Judge Oakley officially concluded the session and thanked his staff for their work. Before leaving the bench, he instructed Jamie and Heather to take care of any remaining administrative matters and process the files for individuals who failed to appear in court as scheduled. After a busy day filled with hearings, legal disputes, and important decisions, the court session came to a close, bringing another eventful day in Judge Oakley's courtroom to an end.